Atlanta. Often referred as the new Motown or the Black Hollywood, Atlanta has undeniably become the powerhouse in shaping the landscape of hip-hop. With the mix of culture, entrepreneurial spirit, and stories that have given a rise to a new generation of artists who dominate the charts, sit back and relax, because in today's video we'll be looking how ATL became the staple of black excellence, exploring the sounds and stories that made the city take over from New York on the rap scene, and most of all, how Atlanta changed hip-hop forever. So, along hip-hop's tour around the states, it arrived in Atlanta in the late 1980s, but the presence wasn't felt. At first, the Atlanta sound was considered a version of the Miami bass or booty music.
Booty dance, booty dance, booty dance,
For a while, it seemed like artists were buying off other hip-hop artists, which I don't blame them. The LEG funk sound was the most popular sound of the hip-hop back then, so it took a while to establish their own personalities. Despite this, Atlanta artists were still doing their thing and being successful at it. The rap group Arrested Development won a Grammy Award in 1992 with Tennessee, while Criss Cross won with their hit song Jump. And then the rap group Tag Team released their debut album that went certified platinum with their album in July 1993. But it wasn't until 1994 that rap got a taste of the southern flavor. OutKast, made of Andre 3000 and Big Boy, they sound really different with their music. They mixed up different sounds from the south like funk, soul, electric beats, making their rap stand out from what everyone else was doing. Their debut album, Southern Playlist Cadillac Music in 1994, yeah, the first time I read that I thought I was speaking in a different language, but yeah, this album set the stage for the new sonic direction, laying the groundwork for Atlanta's distinctive contribution to hip-hop. That being said, the hip-hop community still resisted this change, and it wasn't until 1995 at the incredibly tense Source Awards where the South would be heard loud and clear.
It was pretty brutal to just be in a room full of people that don't even really care about what you do.
So what's up, Dre?
Pressure can either bust pipes or create a diamond, and what Andre said when he got on that microphone created a diamond.
It's like this though. I'm tired of folks, you know what I'm saying? Them closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and nobody want to hear it, but it's like this, the South got something to say, that's all I got to say.
Everybody was like this on their seats, like, damn. From there, it was a rap.
So throughout the 90s, it was kind of like this. There was the East Coast on one side and the West Coast on the other, and both sides were arguing about whose music is better. Now, in the middle of all this noise, there was the South, and nobody was paying attention to them, basically invisible. After OutKast won the award for Best New Artist, instead of cheers, some people took them as a joke, but it seems like OutKast had the last laugh, and after this, people actually started to listen to them.
You gonna listen to me now?
Yeah.
OutKast's influence paved the way for the Dungeon Family Collective, a music collective that included artists like Goody Mob and producers like Organized Noise. Their collaborative efforts birthed a sound incorporated with southern hospitality, lyrical depth, and a unique musicality that resonated way beyond Atlanta's borders. Gradually, we see the emergence of the very early days of trap music. Back then, trap can be explained as telling a story about a neighborhood called Atlanta, almost like a musical tale about life in Atlanta. OutKast released Spooty Ooty, I'm never gonna pronounce this one. In that song, they talked about young love and how sometimes people really enjoy the lifestyle of the trap. But at the same time, they said, hey, let's think about the not so good parts of this lifestyle, like how it keeps some people stuck in the cycle of poverty. They also mentioned how police in Atlanta were unfairly targeting black communities and black men. The Goody Mob also chimed in on the topic on the song Soul Food, rapping about the lifestyle of selling drugs to survive in Atlanta. And both songs resonate with people from the streets of Atlanta, growing up in the crack cocaine era. Atlanta and New York and LA are actually kind of similar in some ways, which makes sense. All three were leading states of hip-hop talking about the same issues related to black Americans. The African-American struggle, which in a nutshell is violence, crime, racial tensions, poverty, young parenthood, and resilience. And just like New York, Atlanta had an underground scene. One place was special was Club 559. Today, it stands as a family dollar store, but back in 1993, it stood as a secret hideout for the type of music called Down South rap. It was like this, the early beats and rhymes that people loved but didn't become super famous on the radio yet. So yeah, before these tracks hit the big airwaves, they were getting bumped in the speakers at Club 559. Thanks to the club, a special kind of music called Crunk was born. The sound was known for heavy hitting 808 kick samples, syrup auto-tune, and non-stop ad-libs. Whether the lyrics were talking about dealing drugs or talking about some freak shit, the sound was set for club listeners. One famous Crunk song, Who You With by Lil Jon and the Eastside Boys, even became a classic from Club 559. People were loving this club music that eventually spread to the ears of young black American students. Yeah, and you had this kind of music being played at the loudest spring break events like Freaknik throughout the 90s and 2000s.
Welcome to Atlanta Airport. Freaknik 98. You know what I mean?
We was locked in the Winnebago for so long, we just wanted to get out and just have fun.
We made it live from George! King University, nigga, what?
the girls was outside looking at us and stuff. And we didn't even move to Winnebago. We just left it in the middle of the street. Just got out, started dancing with the other girls. Freak as a big car show. And some of the females see that you have a big time car, maybe they'll talk to you and give you a little chance. We ride, man. We the young generation, man. We just love to fix our cars up and just cruise, man. Show them off, man. Just having fun.
Now we enter the year of 2000, and the turn of the century wasn't the only big thing to happen in this year. OutKast released that album called Stank Onia, and this was like a musical party that celebrated the city's unique sound. One of their songs, B.O.B., was so wild that some radio stations didn't want to play it.
Wow, really?
As the 2000s unfolded, a significant cultural shift occurred in Atlanta's hip-hop scene. Artists such as T.I., Gucci Mane and Ludacris have slowly become a household name in hip-hop. Crunk music was still doing its thing, but during this time, trap music was only getting more popular. The only way to describe trap music in the early days is essentially a mix of heavy bass, hi-hats and gritty narratives. T.I., often referred as the King of South, played a pivotal role in popularizing the trap genre with his 2003 album Trap Music, and this sold 110k copies first week, later becoming certified platinum. Following this, we had Young Jeezy, Thug's Motivation 101 in 2005, and of course Gucci Mane contributed significantly to the rise of trap with his album Trap House. Gucci Mane had an even more raw and apologetic style combined with infectious beats, made him a key figure in shaping the sound of Atlanta hip-hop. So by 2006, T.I., Young Jeezy and Gucci Mane had now defined the subgenre that would now dominate the charts for years to come. And this was definitely felt because a year later we had Soulja Boy's Crunk That. Love or hate him, he is part of the reason why Atlanta took over from New York as the #1 sound of hip-hop. Musical trends in rap shifted, more dance and catchy songs were getting played more because it was allowed on radio. And this is what I like to call the era of ringtone rap. Almost like the viral TikTok songs we hear today. Plus, with digital platforms and streaming becoming more prevalent, Atlanta acted fast. The city's artists embraced online platforms, social media, and mixtapes, bypassing the traditional industry gatekeepers and directly connecting with fans the same way Soulja Boy did by promoting his music through MySpace. By the end of the late 2000s, Southern rap was no longer considered the underground. It was the mainstream. The 2010s marks a period of Atlanta's never-seen-before dominance in the hip-hop landscape. The three main players were Future, youngthug, and the Migos, who created a whole new wave of trap music that transcended regional boundaries. Future was like a musical wizard. He used his words and voice in a way that made everyone feel lots of different emotions. And with that auto-tune, this made his voice sound like magic.
Sensational.
Then there was youngthug, who had a unique way of rapping and was recognized for being the pioneer of mumble rap.
Do you got nuts? No way. Bitches gonna listen to. No. Bitches gonna listen to it. Bitches gonna listen to it. No. Bitches gonna listen to it.
Oh my God.
It was like he was speaking his own language, even though a lot of us didn't get it at first, including myself, but it sounded dope, I can't lie. The Migos introduced the world to the trap triplet flow, characterized by rapid-fire rhythmic delivery. Their breakout single, Versace, propelled them to stardom and solidified Atlanta's grip on the mainstream hip-hop scene. And with that push, trap music has moved beyond the trap, beyond Atlanta and beyond rap.
Oh shit, that shit rhyme.
To the point where we had pop stars using trap beats like Miley Cyrus. All of a sudden pop stars were using trap drums, and eventually this made trap the most popular genre next to pop music. In the last few years, a lot of musicians in Atlanta have brought a fresh sound to the music scene. Even though they're making new music, it still brings that trap spirit of previous years. Thanks to Young Thug, artists such as 21 Savage, Gunna, lilbaby have continued Atlanta's legacy of melodic trap music, while rappers such as Playboi Carti have merged the trap sound with punk rage music to a massive record-breaking effect, influencing subsequent rising stars like Yeet, Destroy Lonely, and a whole lot of underground emo rappers. With artists like Sexy Red, songs like Shaken with DaBaby or Peaches and Eggplants with Young Nudie, Crunk music is still more relevant, it has just taken a different form. With all this, you can see how influential Atlanta rap has been. From artist to artist, there's been a domino effect, essentially making Atlanta the home of new sounds. Atlanta doesn't just affect music, it's also had a big impact on how people dress and the things they love. The artists in the sea are like trendsetters, showing everyone around the world what's cool. Gucci Mane, for example, popularizing wearing flashy jewelry and designer clothes, and that style mixed with the trap vibe made hip-hop and fashion come together. Andre 3000 is another artist who changed things up with his unique and creative fashion, looking like one pimp you'd unlock on Street Fighter. And who can forget Young Thug's Disney princess type dresses? Beyond this, it's also a place where people can speak up about important things that make a difference. On rapper and activist, Killer Mike is a strong supporter of the civil rights. He talks about serious problems like the police treating people unfairly and racism that's built into the system. When he teamed up with the LP in their duo Run the Drills, they got a lot of praise for their lyrics that speak about politics and social issues. EI too has used his platform to address the social issues, engaging in community activism, speaking about racial inequality.
Rise up out of the wreckage of the struggle that we all experience just by being born a certain color in this country. But Atlanta is a place where we can set an example of prosperity, and we've done that for generations. People like Dr. King, Maynard Jackson, Ambassador Young have paved the way for us. When everything else goes away, when you don't get treated right in New York, when you don't get treated right in LA, when you can't get treated right in Detroit, when you don't get treated right in St. Louis, when you don't get treated right in Alabama, Atlanta has been here for us. This city don't deserve it.
lilbaby's record, The Bigger Picture, released in the height of the George Floyd and BLM protests, used his voice to speak out against the racial injustice. Even more recently, we've seen Young Thugs protect black art movement in attempts to start lyrics being used against people in trials.
Good luck.
Overall, Atlanta's hip-hop scene has become a powerful vehicle for artists to amplify their voices and advocate for change. Zaytoven echoes these statements. Atlanta is everything, he says. Atlanta is crunk music, Atlanta is swag music, Atlanta is gangster music, Atlanta is conscious music, Atlanta is snap music, it's dance music, it's all of that. The city's artists have become not only entertainers, but also cultural architects, shaping the narrative of hip-hop for generations to come. Atlanta's hip-hop resonance stands out as a vibrant, ever-evolving chapter in the rich tapestry of the genre's history. Thank you so much for watching. If you stayed to the end, you're a real one. Drop me a like and hit subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and until next time, I'll catch you in the next video.